The Brave Crab, the untold story behind the Cancer constellation. Tonight, let us look up. Somewhere above you, scattered gently across the darkness, there is a small and quiet constellation. It does not blaze like the others. It has no brilliant star to catch your eye, no bold shape to trace against the night. If you did not know it was there, you might pass it by 1,000 times and never notice it at all. And yet this faint little gathering of stars holds one of the tenderest stories in all of Greek myth. It is the story of a creature no one expected to be brave. It is the story of a crab. To find where it begins, we must drift back, far back, into the age of heroes. Back to a man named Heracles, whom many now call Hercules. He was the strongest of all who ever lived, the son of a mortal woman and of Zeus, the king of the gods. Strength followed him wherever he walked, but so did sorrow. For the goddess Hera, queen of the heavens and wife of Zeus, had never forgiven Heracles for simply being born. Her anger toward him was old and deep and patient, and from her throne among the clouds she watched him always, and waited. In time, Heracles was set upon a long and difficult path, a series of great labors he was bound to complete. And the second of these labors led him to a place of still water and rising mist, a place called Lerna. There, in the reeds and the shallows of a quiet marsh, lived a monster known as the Hydra. The Hydra was a serpent, but no ordinary one. From its coiling body rose many heads, swaying in the damp air, hissing softly in the dark. Its breath was poison, its blood was poison, and it guarded a secret more terrible than all of that. For whenever a hero struck away one of its heads, the wound would not bleed and close. Instead, from that single wound, 2 new heads would grow. So Heracles came to the marsh, and he began to fight. He swung, and a head fell, and 2 rose in its place. He struck again, and again the monster only grew stronger. The mist thickened, the water churned, and for the first time, the greatest hero in the world began to feel the cold weight of doubt. For how do you defeat an enemy that grows more powerful with every blow? But Heracles had not come alone. At the edge of the marsh stood his young companion, his nephew Iolaus, holding a burning torch. And together they found the answer. Each time Heracles cut away a head, Iolaus pressed the flame to the open wound, sealing it with fire before it could grow anew. Slowly, painfully, the tide of the battle began to turn. High above, Hera watched all of this, and she could not bear it. She could not bear to see the one she hated rise toward victory. And so she looked for help, any help, that she might send into the fight against him. Her gaze fell to the muddy edges of the marsh, and there, among the stones and the reeds, she found a small and humble ally, a crab. It was not mighty, it was not fearsome. Beside the towering Hydra and the mountainous hero, it was almost nothing at all. But Hera called to it and asked it to go, and the little crab obeyed. Now here is the part of the story so often forgotten. The crab knew. It surely knew that it could not win. A single crab against the strongest man who had ever lived. There was no glory waiting for it, no victory, no reward it could ever hope to claim. And still, it went. It crept out from the safety of the shallows. It made its way across the churning mud toward the very center of that terrible battle. And when it reached the hero, it did the only thing it could do. It reached up with its small claw, and it seized him by the foot, and it held on with all its strength. For one brief moment, it pulled at his attention. For one brief moment, this tiny creature stood in the path of a hero and did not run. But such courage could not last. Heracles, hardly breaking his stride, brought his heel down upon the crab, and in an instant it was gone. And soon after, the great Hydra fell too, and the second labor was finished. The battle was over. The marsh grew quiet once more, and to the eyes of the world, the little crab had failed and been forgotten. But Hera had seen everything. She had seen a small creature offer up everything it had, with no hope of winning and no hope of reward. She had seen a loyalty so pure that it asked for nothing in return, and the goddess was moved. And so she reached down and gently lifted the crab up, away from the mud, away from the cold water, up and up into the endless night. And there, among the stars, she gave it a home that would never fade. Because it had not won its battle, some say it was given no bright and shining stars. Its light remains soft and humble and easy to overlook. But it is there. It has always been there, quietly keeping its place in the heavens for all the long ages of the world. The Greeks called the crab Karkinos, and in the older tongue of Rome, the word for crab was simply Cancer. And so this gentle constellation took that name and has carried it ever since. Each year, when the sun rises high and the days grow long and warm, it passes through these very stars. And those who are born beneath them are said to belong to the sign of Cancer. They are known, so the old traditions say, as loyal and gentle souls, protective of those they love, tender of heart. Perhaps it is fitting that a sign remembered for its loyalty should have begun with a small creature who was loyal to the very end. So the next time you find that faint and quiet constellation, low and soft against the dark, do not think of it as weak. Think of it instead as a small reminder that even the humblest of us can be braver than anyone would ever expect. Rest now and let the stars keep watch. For the crab does not drift alone up there. Just beside it, another light is waiting, with a story all its own. Next time, we will follow the trail of a mighty lion, a beast of golden hide, and the very first of the hero's labors, whose memory, too, was raised into the stars. But that is a tale for another night.